Year's resolutions? Nobody wants to admit it, because we probably broke them already, right? Yeah. I think it's less of a thing now, isn't it? Right? For one thing, most of you at your age, you're nearly perfect, if not perfect. The only thing we can change is to become a little more humble, maybe. You know? I go to the Y every morning, and usually at this time of year, you see a whole bunch of new people. Those are the people who have made the New Year's resolutions. And by the first week of February, you don't see them anymore. Okay, this year, I don't know if it's going to start tomorrow, but there haven't been any new people there. It's just all the old people. They should change the YMCA to the OMCA. Old Man's, I was supposed to drop the Christian too, but the Old Man's Christian Association. New Year's resolutions. We make them because we want to change something in our lives. And usually what we want to change is how we appear. Okay, we want to lose weight, we want to get in better shape, or we want to become healthier. And that's a goal for a lot of people. I just figured that if you came to this 6 months ago, you should have started 6 months ago. January 1st is an artificial date. But it is hard for us to keep our resolutions. And there's a reason for it. Okay? There's a reason why people come to join the Y or in any other club, and after a month they're gone, or people can go on a diet and they can lose weight, and then the weight comes back on. And my theory is this, is that we usually start from a place of weakness, not from a place of strength. A lot of times we beat ourselves up. We don't love ourselves. We hate ourselves, or we hate the way we look. And when that anger or frustration or criticism builds up to such a point, it might motivate us to make some changes. And then the changes are made, and then you know what? That critical, negative voice hasn't changed. And oftentimes we go back to the old habits. We should start from a position of strength. And the first resolution you should make is to love yourself completely and unconditionally, just the way you are. Look in the mirror today. Look in the mirror at yourself and say, I love you completely and unconditionally, just the way you are. This is one of the most difficult challenges we have in our life. And the reason is, it's not because our parents didn't love us, although if you believe one or both of your parents didn't love you, it's very difficult for you to love yourself. But even though your parents loved you, it's the critical, it's the negative voices that are clicking in our brain. You can delete things from your cell phone and delete them from your computer, okay? But it's really hard to delete those negative, critical messages. I have them. There aren't many people that I know that don't have them. It's hard to stop that negative self-chatter. How do we do that? How do we do that? The Word became flesh and lived among us. Jesus was the Word. The Word from God was love. It didn't used to be. Okay? Moses, it says in the gospel, Moses gave us the law. And do you know how many laws? There aren't just 10 commandments in the Bible. There's over 600 laws in the Bible about all the things that we should do and how we should be. Okay? And this wasn't working. The law wasn't making people happy. It wasn't uniting them in a relationship with God, and it wasn't keeping people's relationship together. The law, the critical words that we share with one another, that does not keep us together. It is love. And the Word became flesh. This word of love became living flesh and dwelt among us. to show us the way. And that's what Jesus' life was all about. To live here in this flesh, in this life, to suffer and experience the same things that we do, but to live a life of love. To love and accept all the people that he came into contact with. And that wasn't easy in those days. It isn't easy today. But Jesus received a lot of criticism for loving the prostitutes, loving the tax collectors, loving the people who were divorced, the adulterers. He loved them all and welcomed him into his family. One of my favorite parables in this Song for the Bird, I must have this about 20 years now. This summarizes what I'm talking about. You've heard me say it before. I was neurotic for years. I was anxious and depressed and selfish. And everyone kept telling me to change. I resented them, and I agreed with them. I wanted to change, but simply could not, no matter how hard I tried. What hurt the most was, like the others, my best friend kept insisting that I change. So I felt powerless and trapped. And then one day my best friend said to me, "Don't change. Don't change. I love you just the way you are." Those words were music to my ears. Don't change. Don't change. I love you just the way you are. I relaxed. I came alive. And suddenly, I changed. And now I know that I couldn't really change until I found somebody who could love me just the way I am. That's it. That's it. Jesus came. And the words aren't specifically there, but that's his words. Don't change. I love you just the way you are. And how many of us Christians grew up with a much different message? You better change. You better change or you're not going to make it. The power of the gospel. I love you just the way you are. Your resolution. Love yourself the way God loves you.